Hey, good afternoon, Robert and Robert. This is Jessica Peterson. I just got off the phone with Robert. We were talking about you guys wanting help for verification of your Google business profile. And I thought while I was waiting for the other Robert to give me a call, I would just shoot this video for you guys real quick because I know what I'm about to show you as you're going through these steps for your business. It's going to be a really big help for you guys. And I know the strategies that I'm about to show you will help significantly because we've done it with over 50 other contractors just like you guys, and it's made a huge difference, okay? I did discover, Robert, that you had given me the website address that had an S in it, Plumbers, and it was coming up as no website. But when I went to your Facebook profile, I realized it was Plumber without the S. So I did finally find your website. It is secure. You don't have to worry about the SSL certificate that we were just talking about, okay? So when it comes to ranking online, content is everything. And that's content you're putting out everywhere on your Facebook page, on your website. All the content that you use tells Google what you guys do and what services and where you offer them, okay? When it comes to your website and ranking your website, there are several factors that we need to consider when it talks about content. Now, I know I briefly talked to you about the Plumber Near Me. I know that is your name, which is great. It's just that near me keywords are not actually near me. They are national terms. And so, because near me can be where anybody in the world is. And so, since it's a generic term like that, anybody in your area that is ranking for plumber, plumbers, plumbing, if somebody puts in a plumber near me search term, all of those that are ranking for any plumber terms are going to show up. And so they're going to actually be showing up above you guys. Especially right now without having the SEO in place. So that is something you guys are going to run into. Now, when it comes to ranking the website, as I said, content is key. And that includes having the right type of written content on your homepage as well as your back pages. It means optimizing your profile, or not your profile, I'm sorry, optimizing your images. So you want to make sure all images are saved with the local keywords. So we can see here, the images here just have a bunch of numbers. So that's not an optimized photo. So we need to focus on one specific service area. So whether you're doing it Paradise, Chico, Butte County, whatever, you need to choose that specific area. So this needs to be like Chico Plumbing, Chico Plumbers, Plumbing Chico, Plumbing Chico CA. All of those need to be saved because when people are searching, they're looking local. And when people search, it has to do with their coordinates, where they're located, what they're going to show. So we have to focus on the local keywords. 99% of the time when people are searching, they don't know the name of your business, so that's not where they're searching generally. Now, that because you are a plumber near me, you might have a chance there, but for the most part, we've got to focus on the actual local buyer intent keywords. And those are going to be more service oriented. So not just generic plumber and plumbing, but hot water heater installation or repairs, Chico, okay? We got to focus on those local keywords. That's going to be really critical. This homepage is the most important page of the entire website. So it does need to have summaries of each of your major services focused on those local keywords. And you're going to need at least 1,500 words of content or more on the home page. If your competitors have more than 1,500 words, you need more than they have. So you want to try and get 1,800 or even 2,000 words on this home page. But then just as critical is you need to have all of your major services need to have their own pages. So you have a good basic foundation started. But you have to do these other pages as well. So having a page for sewer repairs, drain cleanings. Some of these can probably be combined, but the major services do need to have their own page because that allows you to write content specific to that one service, focus on the local keywords for that service, provide information about that service, and answer the common questions people ask. So it's helpful information. Google does require those separate pages for those reasons. And then, since you're servicing multiple service areas and counties, ideally you need separate service area pages for those as well. So that way you're actually showing up in Reading, in Yuba City, and all these other places that you're servicing. If we look at one of the top organic competitors in Chico, we actually have Affordable Plumbing, and they're not doing anything really. So they have the website. They're kind of in the same position as you. They don't have the right type of content. They don't have service pages. But most of the local competition here isn't doing a whole lot. So just doing better than they're doing is going to help you guys out a lot. Sorry about that. So they're not really doing much of anything. So you just have to do better. Better content, more pages, etc. Now, if we look at one of your other top competitors, Earl's. This is a great example. The website's not flashy, it's not pretty, but it does the job, okay? He's got separate pages for all of his major services in all of these categories, okay? And he's got these service areas that he serves and these pages. That is allowing him to be a top contender in all of these areas that he serves, okay? And so in order to stand out like Earl's, you have to do what he's doing, and we have to do it better, okay? So more quality content, more pages, having those separate pages for each service, all of those are going to be critical for you, okay? Now, when your customers do their search, as you know, they're going to do a search similar to this. There's going to be 3 different areas that your business could have good opportunity to dominate in that area. And so the first is generally going to be your ads. Those are your local service ads like these, and your cost per click ads. Since you don't have the website stuff dialed in yet, I would hold off on the cost per click ads because you're going to spend a lot of money and not get much return on investment until you dial in your landing pages and those processes. But once you guys do get your Google Business Profile verified, start getting reviews, you can go after the local service ads, and those can be really profitable and help getting jobs faster while you're working on the other things that need to be happening, okay? Now, this section here is the Google Business Profile section. This is where you want your profile to show up when it's verified, because 30% of people come straight to the maps and they don't go anywhere else. So in order to be in the top 3, be optimized, verified, obviously, you have to get citations. And citations are simply listing the name of the business, the address, phone number, and website, and listing those in a bunch of directories, which are things like the Better Business Bureau, Yellow Pages, Yelp, Angie's, Home Advisor, House. All of those are really great citations. So we need a bunch of those, and we need more than our competition is doing. And getting those is going to help you not only to get verified, but help you to start ranking into the top 3 once you are, okay? And then this third section here is the most important section because this is the organic section. 60 to 70% of people, they'll skip all the ads, they'll skip the maps, and they come right here. So we want your business to actually be showing up here when they do those searches. And when they're not, you're leaving 60 to 70% of your jobs on the table every single month. And so it's going to be important, not just in Chico, but as you start expanding into those other service areas, you're going to want that in those areas as well, okay? And that all comes back to the foundation of this website, having the right content and keyword strategy. Because Google sends crawlers, which are mini robots, and it crawls through your entire website every image, all of this written content here to learn about your business, the services you offer, and where you offer those services. So if you don't have the right type of content, you don't have those keywords, Google has no idea what you're about, so it's impossible for them to send you customers, okay? So you need to have that right content, and then you support that with your backlink SEO strategy. So if we look here, this is Ahrefs, a paid tool we use to show us how your website is performing. And we can see here you have zeros across the board, okay? That 0, this is your rating for your website as a whole, means Google doesn't trust your website. That's 0 out of 100. And that comes down to the content of your website, but most importantly, the power you're sending to your website. Your website is powered with something called backlinks, which are simply getting links from another website to your website. But not all backlinks are good. They're not created equal. So we only want good quality do follow links that are closely related to your business. So they can be from other home service businesses, vendors, magazines, etc. But as you get good quality links, it increases the score, and Google promotes your website higher to rank higher and will help rank for the keywords. Now, because you don't have barely any content and no keyword strategy, you don't have any keywords indexed, so you're not getting any traffic. So you're missing out on all of the available traffic right now. If we look at your the affordable plumbing, like I said, they're not really doing much to their website. They got a really low score. They do have 52 backlinks. We need more than they have, but we only want the good ones, and we'll do better. They've been indexed for 7 keywords, but they're only getting 13 people to their website. And if we look, it's because they are ranked on the first page for Plumbers in Chico. Okay, there's 10 spots per page on Google, so that's where their traffic's coming from. Now, when we look at Earl's, he has a higher score with over 12,000 backlinks. So to have this low of a score and this many backlinks, that says majority that is spam. So we don't have to do better than and get all those spammy links. We just need better quality of the good links he has and more. But because he's got all those pages, all of that content, he's been indexed for over 350 keywords, and he's getting over 2,400 people to his website, allowing them to serve in all of these areas. And when we look at those keywords, okay, we have a ton of his branding, which is only 1% of the people that generally search. Okay, but then we have these local keywords in these different areas that he serves that he is on the first page for. So that's how he's getting all of this traffic, okay? And so it's very doable for you guys to be competitive against Earl and to even dominate some of the other competitors. If you follow these strategies that I've shown you today, in 6 to 9 months, and maybe even sooner, you guys could absolutely dominate some of these competitors in this local area. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Working with contractors like you guys is our specialty, and we are here to answer any questions that you might have. So please feel free to respond to my email and give me a call back, and I'd be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I do look forward to hearing from you soon.